I don't want to develop a culture of meta squatters and meta squat trainers trying to figure out what they can do to make their clients better so that they can then teach them to squat.
Right.
Just squat.
I want to go outside and play. I said I want to go outside and play today. The sun is shining and there's no chance of rain.
People that do not know how to squat do not have normal hip function. They don't have normal leg function. They can't jump, run, throw, or punch correctly.
The squat, absolutely fundamental, building block to everything else that we're going to do in CrossFit. So do this well and everything else you do will fall into place. Do this poorly and everything else is going to be a little challenging for you.
I want him in that posture.
Okay.
And if we have to find a post and he grabs it and I got a knee in his back and I'm forcing him in there and looking to see if it can be balanced or not, if I'm like, why can't I get you down there? Are you fighting me, or is it the limit of a range of motion? I'm going to have him, give me hip flexion, and if real suddenly I get a round lower back and I ran out of hamstring, well, that's part of the problem, and I might assign some other hamstring duty, but suppose I didn't really find that. It's just neurological. I want you down there in the squat anyways.
The question is, how do I address people that are stuck in the mindset of squatting deep is bad for the knees? And that's a tough one. The answer that I always give them is that when it's performed well, when we have a good example of a squat being performed well, the hips take most of the force below 90 degrees. The most forces that the knees experience is actually above 90 degrees. That's where they experience the biggest force.
I got something for you to ask the physician. Ask him or her what his preferred method for getting your ass off the toilet seat is. The way I do, I squat. Go ahead, Laura. Just like that, I just get up. Maybe you can put rings over the toilet. And muscle.
So it's not necessarily bad that they're being loaded above 90 in the squat. However, most of the force is going to be shifted to the hips as we descend below 90. Right? So it's actually safer. And it all leads back to why full range of motion, because we can better support both sides of the joint, right? You got the quads and the hamstrings working to balance out the forces at the knee. If we're always squatting above, mostly quad driven, mostly knees.
I only feel it in my quads. I don't care where you feel it. I'm telling you where it needs to come from. And you can make me happy when you go, wow, I really feel that back here. Try to feel it there. Wake up. Brain, ass, have a conversation, engage. Yourself squatting easily. What's the formula? Don't know how, add a lot of weight. But done safely, correctly, at light loads, the only risk with this stuff is not doing it. And that risk is profound.
Weight on the heels, back arched, and your chest up. From this position, what I want you to do is initiate that squat, not with your knees, but with your butt. I want you to send your butt back and down. At 45, she sends it, and she goes down to parallel, which is the crease of her hip, okay, the top of her hip is below the top of her knee. And then from there, she drives straight up out of those heels.
There's a plane that divides Ms. Lau from front to back. It is the frontal plane. Half of her is in it, in front of it, half is in back. She divides her from a front half to from a front half to a back half. She is staying, her center of mass is staying in that frontal plane. 50% of her is ending up on this side of it, 50% on that side. Salient feature here, supercritical, lumbar spine, arched.
You want your whole body is engaged in an air squat. Every bit of musculature that you have is working. Your core is tight, your chest is up, shoulders are pinned back, nothing's just along for the ride. If you find yourself down in the bottom of the squat and you're just kind of chilling, probably not squatting right.
Regardless of what the problem is, the answer is to squat.